Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Evolve with Evie podcast. I am so excited to have you guys back here this week to listen to me again, chatting in your ear rolls. So this week we are going to be talking about the person who is busy but does not have time. Now, this is so common where you think you're so busy, you don't have time to work out, you don't have time to do your steps, and it just feels like life is going at 100 miles an hour and you are running around like a little headless chicken. Now, if this is you and you are waking up, you're waking up late, you're rushing out the door, you're spilling coffee everywhere, you're just feeling like your day is so stressful and you just can't seem to catch a break, you are going to need to listen to this episode, because unless we do something about it, life is never going to slow down. So, I get it. You are very, very busy. You got social events, you got work, everything is going on, and you do just feel like you have no time for yourself. But one of the most common things that I see with people is not creating time. So we're almost living our lives in this constant state of stress. So your cortisol through the roof, you're living off adrenaline, okay? And that is not a good place to be from a hormonal standpoint, but also for yourself. Like if you were just constantly stressed, you're constantly running around like a headless chicken, you're never going to be able to get to that next level that you want to get to, because you're always trying to play catch up on what you need to do from last week and the week before and the week before. And if you listen to this like, fuck, that is me right now, then this episode is going to be so helpful, because I have been there. Like even when I had half the workload that I have now, and I was still 10 times more stressed. And the reason being is that I just didn't have any structure to my life. I woke up, I was like, shit, what do I need to do today? Shit, I'm running late, shit this, shit that, shit that. And it just puts you in this place where you're always in a panic zone. You're always busy, sometimes just for the sake of being busy. You're not even that stressed. You're just stressed for the sake of being stressed, because you feel like if you're not stressed, if you're not busy, then you're failing. So how do we fix it? So firstly, we have to remember that you are never ever going to find time. You will never find time. You are busy, right? Maybe your schedule, some people, I say this to people, right? And whenever a client comes on board, we do a full schedule analysis. We go through your schedule, we pick it apart. We see where can we fit in training, where can we fit in nutrition. And sometimes people's schedules are literally packed from 8 a.m. all the way through to 6 p.m. And we're thinking, shit, okay, where can we actually fit training in here? And the reality of the situation is that you're not going to be able to find that time. It's not just going to poof out of magic air. We're going to have to carve in time to do that. Now, if you haven't heard of I think it's the Eisenhower matrix, maybe I've just made that up, but basically what it is a matrix of is the things that you can do now, the things that you can delegate, the things that you can do a different time, and the things that you can do in the next few days or so. You can really spend some time going through that matrix, and if you are someone that is working 6 till 6 and you're busy every single day, seeing what you can delegate. Because if you can't create more time and you can't wake up earlier, then we're going to have to pass some work off, because it's not realistic for you to do this amount of workload for the rest of time and also look after yourself. Now, if you were just busy for the sake of being busy, and we take a look at your schedule and maybe you work a 9 to 5 and aside of that, you don't really do a whole lot, you've just got your social events, I promise you now, you have so much more time than you realize. And I'm not going to sit here and say you are a lazy bitch because you don't wake up at 5 a.m. and you should be grafting from the moment you wake up. That is not the case, okay? But if you want to be the best version of yourself, if you want to train, if you want to be healthy, if you want to feel more energetic, more positive, more confident, then understanding that you're going to have to carve that time out somewhere. You can't just walk around and go, oh my God, it's so busy. I'm so busy right now. There's no time. And you slip into that victim mentality of this just can't happen for me. It's just not fair. I'm just too busy. Maybe if I was an influencer and I had limitless time, be an influencer then. If that's what you want, then be an influencer, but you're still going to have to work your ass off to get there. So what I'm saying here is the grass is always greener on the other side. So we have to then shift from that victim of going, oh God, I just don't have any time, I'm too busy, to empowerment, which is where we go, okay, life is busy as hell right now. And I know that means that I need to be on my A game. I need to be healthy. I need to be training. I need to be moving my body. So then assessing, okay, if my schedule is crazy, how am I going to fit in my training here? Can I wake up earlier? Can I do just a quick 30-minute run on my lunch break? Can I go on the weekend? What are the things that I can do to move from that victim of I can't make this work to how can I make this work? From that will never happen to me for how can I make that happen for me? From I don't have time, I can't afford it, to how can I make time? How can I afford it? And shifting from being very, very like closed off, being so fixed mindset to growth mindset. So it's really important that we go from that point to this point here if you do want to get to your goals. Now, the next thing, as I said, you're never going to find that time. You are going to have to create it. Sometimes that is going to mean waking up early. It's going to mean waking up earlier than all of your friends do. It's going to mean waking up earlier than your partner does. Yes, it can be shit. Yes, it might be shit that you have to go to bed at 8 p.m. and you miss I'm a celeb. But do you want to achieve your goals? Because seriously, if you want to achieve your goals, you've got to take that personal responsibility. You've got to go, fuck, okay, I need to train at 5 a.m. tomorrow morning so that I can get my gym session in before I go to work. That means that if I want to be well rested and I want to feel energized, then I'm going to have to go to bed at 8, 9 p.m. That means I'm going to miss I'm a Celeb. Is that more important to you? Is watching I'm a Celeb more important to you than your goals? Probably not. So taking that assessment and going, okay, how can I carve this exercise into my life? How can I carve this personal development? Same goes with journaling. Same goes with meditation. If you do want to improve your mental well-being, you know that you've got to do this shit. You know, if you're going to therapy, for example, you can't just go to therapy and expect everything to be fixed. You've got to do the work. You've got to do the work every single week. Same with training. If you want to see the changes, you've got to do the work. You can't just complain when it doesn't work out for you. You have to make sure that every single week you're putting the steps in place to move into that empowered zone, to move into the growth mindset and going, I'm busy, but I'm going to carve out the time to do it because that is what I care about. Now, the next question I have for you is, are you busy or are you productive? There is a huge difference between someone that gets a lot done and is very, very productive, is very efficient with their time, and someone who is very busy. Now, if you try and tell me, oh my God, I've got 1,001 things to do and I don't have time to work out, I'm just going to assume that you're a millionaire. I'm going to assume that you're a billionaire and you're running a multi-billion-dollar company, okay? Because those people have time to work out. They make the time to work out. You have to make the time to work out. Are you busy or are you productive? Now, I say this with all the love in the world because I used to be a busy person. I used to be busy, and to be fair, some days I am still very, very busy, but not productive. What does that mean? That means we scroll a little bit here and there. You go to the gym and you know your gym session takes an hour, right? But it takes you 2 hours. Why? Because you spend 30 minutes scrolling in the car each side of that. Maybe you know you need to eat healthy, but you don't have time to eat healthy. What are we doing on, when you get home from work, what are you doing? You're sitting on your phone and scrolling. And that is okay. You're allowed to rest. I will highly encourage rest over and over and over again. But your rest more often than not is going to come from a good night's sleep, not sitting and scrolling. Rest is going to come from taking your weekends or, having time throughout the day to chill and to really calm your nervous system by doing the mindset work or by going on a walk, not by scrolling on your phone. So it's really about reassessing your priorities, making sure that you are being productive, not just busy for the sake of it. And especially if you are a coach yourself or you're an entrepreneur, you will find oftentimes that you can be busy just for the sake of being busy. You've got your laptop open, you've got Canva open, or you're looking at your client programs, but you're not actually doing anything. We're just kind of scrolling here and there. We're just jumping in between tabs. Make sure you're not busy for the sake of being busy and that we are actually spending our time efficiently. So really break your schedule down. Where can I fit those workouts in? If it maybe is at 5 a.m. on a Monday, on a Tuesday, on a Thursday, on a Friday, so you've got your weekends fully free, if that's how you want to do it, then do it that way. But making sure that you've got that scheduled in. Now, what I want to make sure that you do is that you keep the workouts to the same days if possible. Sometimes, yes, you're going to have to be flexible. Sometimes you're going to have different meetings, whatever. But most of the time, if we can keep the workouts to the same days, we can make it an appointment. If you, say for example, right, you were to book in a meeting or you were to book in a doctor's appointment, you would go there every single week. Now, I want you to think of the gym, I want you to think of fitness as almost your doctor's appointment because we are preventing you getting ill. We are preventing those early onset diseases, okay? So think of that as important as going to the doctor's appointment because this is prevention. We're not just thinking about going to the doctors when we're ill, we're thinking, how can I prevent illness? How can I be the strongest? How can I be the best version of myself? So scheduling in those workouts and fucking doing them. You're not going to want to wake up early. You're not going to want to wake up at 5 a.m. When the alarm clock goes off at 5, do you really think that I'm buzzing to get out of bed? I'm the exact same as you. I want to stay and cuddle my bed. I want to stay in the warm duvet. I don't want to get up when it's pitch black. But I do it because I know how important it is for me to do it. and I'm not motivated to do it most of the time. I'm not motivated to wake up early. I'm not motivated to go to the gym. But I do it because I think of long-term Evie, what long-term Evie needs, what bad bitch Evie, if you've listened to my other episodes, needs as well. So thinking about future you and keeping that promise to yourself. If you say you're going to go to the gym at 5 a.m., fucking get out of bed and get your ass there. You have to have that self-discipline. You have to have that integrity, that self-trust. Because if you are continuously breaking your promises with yourself, you will end up with no confidence. You will end up with no self-trust. You will end up with very, very low self-worth. It is so important that you keep to the promises that you make to yourself week in and week out. So when we are spending time whinging that we don't have time and we're saying, I just can't make it work, instead I want you to think about, how can I make it work? Don't have time to cook. Fine, meal prep. Order from a meal prep company. Make something easy like a freaking protein shake for breakfast. It does not have to be complicated. But if something is important to you and you want to get your dream physique, you want to be in the best shape possible, you want to feel like your absolute freaking best, then understanding that not having time is not your problem here. It's the lack of priority that is your problem. Because look, I honestly, I don't love the saying that we all have the same 24 hours, because I know, like, I am young, I don't work like a job, I don't have to go into an office, I work from home, I don't have kids, I am my only responsibility. But yeah, it is still, and I know people are going to say that's a cunty thing to say, but I'm going to say it anyway. I have the same 24 hours as the incredible CEOs of the biggest companies in the world. I've got the exact same 24 hours. They have 1,000 times more responsibility than me. They have 1,000 more things to do. And yet they still make time to work out. And so I always think, like, if that's where I want to get to one day, and if that is where you want to get to one day, then you can embody what they're doing. Go back to the goal setting workshop I've done. If you can embody what they're doing and how they operate, and they can still make time to exercise, you sure as hell can still make time to exercise, because it is crucial. It's not just something we do conditionally. It's not just something you do to lose weight for the summer or to look your best in a bikini. It is something you do to look after your long-term health, to feel energized, to feel empowered, to feel confident, and to show yourself what you are capable of day in, day out. To not just feel good in the bikini, but to feel confident when you walk into the office. To feel good, to feel healthy walking up the stairs and not get out of breath. These are the things we're working towards, not just a certain body type. And your confidence comes through the work that you put in. Your confidence comes through the trust that you keep with yourself, not how you look, okay? So hopefully you've enjoyed this episode. If you are struggling for time and you don't really know what you need to be doing in the gym, you don't really know what you need to be doing with your nutrition, let us take that overwhelm away from you. We do have spaces available for one-on-one coaching at this very moment in time. We can jump on a free consultation call, or again, if you do not have the time because you are very, very busy, then I can run you through all of it, exactly how we work over chat. So I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Lots of love, go implement, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.